मोरे सजना चले कहाँ तुम, विनती करी तेरी, पाँव पड़े तोरे कितना मनाया, फिर भी नहीं सुनी रे, छोड़ के कहाँ चले रे। घिरत रात अंधेरा डरावे, लोहित मोहे रुलावे, पंछी अकेला सुना है बसेरा, बाट तकत तोरे आवन की, छोड़ के कहाँ चले।
Arunachal, mysterious, magical, mystical, rising from the tropically lush valleys of the Brahmaputra river, the serried ridges and peaks of the eastern Himalayas of Arunachal Pradesh stand vigilant over one of the most compelling destinations in India. Strung out along the misty hilltops and deep valleys are the first in the land to be kissed by the rays of the morning sun.
तेरी सांद मुख पे उठ रे गोविंद, ओ तेज रे कमला पुती परभाते निंदा।
The river Sangpo then is believed to be flowing into a lake that the Tibetans call the Mapham So, which is more popularly known as Manas Sarovar or simply Mansarovar. At one point of time, the river takes a sudden southward bend at Mount Namjak Baura, which is situated at the border of Mainling County and Medrock County. This bend is a perfect U-shape and is popularly known as the Big Bend. Then, the mighty torrent dashes through the forest-like peaks on the end of the eastern Himalayas, sculpting a land of deep river gorges with the name of Great Canyon of the Namche Baura. As the Sangpo enters India by crossing the international boundary between India and China into Arunachal Pradesh, it changes not just its nationality but also its name. The Sangpo thus becomes the Siang. The Siang River begins the second phase of its journey, giving life to new cultures and new people. About 70 kilometers upstream from here is India's boundary with China. And just on the other side of the boundary is Nepe Mako, the great loop that the river takes before entering India. the river as it enters India after becoming Siang, a name that also gives names to at least two districts in Arunachal Pradesh, the land of dawnlit mountains. The people of Arunachal Pradesh have numerous stories to tell about this river, the Siang. And interestingly though, they revere the river Siang so much, they are hardly aware that this great river becomes the Brahmaputra downstream and is one of the greatest rivers of the world. Our unit was fascinated looking at this bridge. This bridge looks like a tube of intricate canework, and the ordinary tribal mountain dweller can walk on it with ease to cross the swift-flowing Siang without even once looking down at the sight that can be so scary. The ends of the cane that keep the bridge hanging across the river is secured to strong frames of logs of wood or growing trees and bamboo clumps, or sometimes to rocks on either sides of the river in order to keep it in position. The Adis believe that their male ancestors learnt this amazing art of weaving bridges out of cane from spiders. Dr. Elwin, who pioneered ethnographical studies in Arunachal Pradesh, described these bridges as marvels of untutored engineering. Another early explorer, called W. Robinson, said, "The skill as well as the labor shown in the construction of these bridges is truly surprising and deserves as much credit as one gives to more civilized nations." The tribes of Arunachal Pradesh, and for that matter, the whole of Northeast India, are expert weavers. Weaving, in fact, is a way of life. The weaving skills of Arunachal Pradesh's Apatani women, too, are legendary, and the wonderful GK pattern woven jackets and the intricately patterned Jilang shawls are proof of that reputation they enjoy. The men are skilled in metallurgy and bamboo craft. The Mongpas of Arunachal Pradesh are known for their dexterity. Inventive weavers, traders, and agriculturists, they also make indigenous handcrafted paper from plants discovered amongst the deep jungles. Do not miss the traditional Bomdilla carpets in the craft shops of Bomdilla and Tawang. The remote villages are often connected with the main road by narrow treks. Look at Pengeng. Through a jungle road that we took, this itself was an adventure. Arunachal, the unspoiled, exotic source of biodiversity, surrounded by Bhutan, China, Myanmar, and Assam to the south. The tough terrain is a trekker's delight. But vacationing in Arunachal Pradesh is an adventure, an exciting, enlightening, and incredible adventure, reminding you again what a wonderful privilege it is to savor the delights of the beauty at its very best. As we drove from rowing towards Pasighat, in many places we had to drive across the shallow river, finding our way through huge rocks that get rounded as they come down the mountains with the river. we were greeted with just vast areas of dry river beds, which looked like abandoned deserts, especially with these broken clumps of trees and dry green bushes. It was an amazing sight, more a sight of horror. It made us feel that we had come into contact with death. The river Siang does not follow any rule. It flows in any direction it wants to, whether you call it the Dibang, the Dehang, the Lohit, or Jia Bhoroli. It destroys in its wake land and human lives. At certain portions, where the river is deep, you have to cross with big boats. Boats that have wooden platforms to carry vehicles too. Look at the clarity of the river. The water is so pure, pristine, and transparent. The boatmen pedal their oars to the river to take you to the other side, making such journeys really memorable and adventurous. Some boats also take you downstream to towns like Pasighat, while tribal people living in remote villages often take this river route to reach the nearest health center to see a doctor. Our unit faced a strange dichotomy of dry deserts skirting these deep, pure river waters. The froth on the river Siang, which is called Dibang, makes one understand that as it gets closer towards Pasighat, it finally becomes the Brahmaputra near Sadia. The chugging of these large motor launches makes us realize how important Pasighat is as a town downstream the river Siang. Trading is one of the most important events that takes place over here. It is a business town predominantly, and a lot of river trade, which has started from time immemorial, continues even today. Here is the residence of the Deputy Commissioner, reminding you of the glory of British residence since time immemorial. The structure of the houses are very, very British. We now enter Pasighat town itself. Tribal people from distant places travel by bus, the most common mode of transport to Pasighat, to sell their produce. These mainly consist of vegetables and fruits, including a wide variety of green leafy vegetables that often grow wild in the eastern Himalayas. During our sojourn in the entire northeastern Indian states, we discovered to our delight the beauty, the liveliness, the camaraderie, the friendship, and the togetherness that all tribal people share with one another in the marketplace. It is not only a place where one's produce is sold, but ideas exchanged, friends made, new lives discovered, matchmaking done, and marriages, deaths, births are celebrated within one another, all decided and confirmed while buying and selling produce in these markets. Tribal people in their traditional fabric, or youngsters today wearing modern clothes like the salwar kameez or trousers and coats, mingle with each other in absolute comfort. Oranges are the king of fruits grown in this region along the river Siang. Villagers in the hill slopes cultivate oranges in abundance, which find their way to distant places like Guwahati, with intermediary businessmen purchasing them from the Pasighat market. This is a typical orange orchard. Construction and maintenance of roads has been a difficult task in this mountainous region. But yet, these days, with fair weather roads connecting most of the far-flung villages, literacy is fast picking up in Arunachal Pradesh. The river Siang is also called the Dehang in this area, as it comes closer to the Assam plains.
Siangore galong luhitore khamti tira pore wanchue mokio matise. Siangore galong luhitore khamti tira pore wanchue mokio matise. Ahomire puduli uduli je muduli morom senehore hat bohise. Siangore galong luhitore khamti tira pore wanchue mokio matise.
Arunachal has a haunting beauty and magical charm that can lure anyone to imbibe its tribal culture, natural beauty, craft, traditions, and splendid wildlife. Its very isolation has been a blessing in many ways, having protected it from the ills of overdevelopment and its consequent problems. Arunachal is blessed by a delightfully variegated climate. Almost 80% of the state is under forest cover, which varies from the subtropical to the alpine in the upper regions of the northwest, where it is bordered by the Himalayan ranges. This vast canopy of rainforest, with its dynamic blend of an amazing plethora of flora and fauna, is one of the world's 17 biodiversity heritage sites. Its serried peaks, running from north to south, are interspersed with rich valleys in whose hidden folds live her ancient tribes in their picturesque villages. The river Siang or Dehang, the Dibang and the Lohit, the Noha Dehing, the Burhi Dehing, Desang, Subansiri, Jia Bhoruli, so many rivers which flow from Arunachal into Assam and then merge into the mighty great river Brahmaputra.
मोरे सजना चले कहाँ तुम विनती करी तेरी पाँव पड़े तोरे कितना मनाया फिर भी नहीं सुनी रे छोड़ के कहाँ चले